So what I will do is I'll let you say your few seconds. Don't talk about the debate or any, well, you could talk about the debate, but don't give too many of your points. I just want to make sure that your mic's working good and everything else like that before we start. Once you take about a minute or two to explain why you want to have this debate and to make sure that your mic is working, I will take the mic after that. I will ask Nehemiah to start the recording, and I will introduce the debate, and from then we will go on. Now, Mr. Glory to Thee, are you able to give us a countdown? Like a 3-minute, 2-minute, 1-minute, 30-second type thing, so we know whereabouts we are in the timing. Oh, I think Glory to Thee stepped away. Nehemiah, since you're recording, oh, there's Jay. Never mind. So Jay, are you able to give us a countdown, like a 3, 2, 1, 30-second, 10, 5 type thing? I'm hoping the one means yes. Sure, excellent. All right, so what I'll do is go ahead, Bad Elf. Now, I'm going to refer to you as Bad Elf during the debate, so it doesn't matter what name you're using. Off the mic.
Yeah, okay, how about now? Can you hear me? Can I be heard? Okay, great. Okay. I think I had some troubles. I don't know, but anyway, yeah. Maybe I will talk about why I'm doing this debate for a simple reason. I just want to punish you, Chris. That's why. I hope I will make you an example for others who are arrogant. Sorry, right? That's my that's my goal right now. Because I noticed you underestimate people, you claim to have the truth, the absolute truth, you claim that you know everything about God. And especially I'm fed up of your mocking and underestimating people. So I decided to punish you intellectually today. That's my goal today. Mike is free.
Alrighty, thank you very much for that, Bad Elf. So, thank you everybody for showing up. There will be a debate happening right now between myself, Chris Claus, and Bad Elf. The topic of the debate will be, oh, you want to say one more thing, Bad Elf, before I introduce the debate? Because Nehemiah is already recording this, but I have to cut all of this out before, because I'm only going to start from where I start my spiel. All right, go ahead. Off the mic.
Sorry about that. I just forgot about it. I want to be called by my real name, right? My real name is Fauzi, right? So, I want to be called by my real name. Is that possible? Okay. Is that possible? Yeah, Fauzi. Yeah, exactly. Great. Okay, Mike is yours. And please don't forget about controlling the text, right? I don't want to be distracted. I know some people try to do so. You know that game, right? Okay, thank you very much. Mike is free.
Yeah, it's a good point. Fauzi. Did I pronounce that right? Fauzi? Exactly. Excellent. Okay. All right. So before we do start off, that is correct. So if anybody can just try to limit what they're saying into the room and try not to directly address me or Fozy, only because we have to be listening and everything else. We can't really be having any side conversations while we're having a debate. We can have that afterwards. All right. So now we will start. So there is going to be a debate happening right now between myself, Claus, and Fozy, a Muslim gentleman here on Pal Talk. The debate topic will be, is Muhammad prophesied in the previous scriptures? Taking the affirmative side, of course, is Fozy, and me taking the opposing side. So what we will do is we are having a 15-minute opening statement each, followed by a 10-minute rebuttal. After that will be a 15-minute cross-examination. And the way that that is going to be done is the questioner will get 1 minute to ask his question, and the person answering will get 2 minutes to answer their question. To answer the question. After that, we will be having a 5-minute closing, followed by some questions if people that in the room want to ask some questions to the debaters. So, starting off with his 15-minute opening statement is Fozy. So take the mic, and your 15 minutes will start whenever you're ready, sir.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So, shall I start from now? Okay, great. So yeah, the topic of the debate is if the Prophet or Muhammad is prophesied in previous scriptures. Of course, as we said before, that this debate will be merely historical, right? I will not take this topic from a theological point of view. We have historical documents about people who's named Moses, Jesus, Muhammad. And let's compare historically if history fulfills the prophecy of Muhammad being prophesied in ancient time, namely the Old Testament, the Samaritan Torah, and the New Testament. So yeah, I will start from the ancient time, the Old Testament. By the way, I'm not preparing this debate, and I'm improvising right now. Just because I have to take your challenge, Chris. So I will do my best to show or clarify my arguments regarding this topic. So yeah, now historically, we have in the ancient time 2 versions of the Torah, right? And I'm sure people don't know about the Samaritan Torah. I don't know. People don't want to talk about it because we have a prophecy there. It's about someone like Moses, right? And it's very well-known prophecy in Deuteronomy 18:18, a prophet like Moses. Now, we have the Samaritan Torah and we have a Jewish Torah, right? Now, there is difference between the 2 versions of the Torah. The problem is we don't know which one is older. Now, I claim that the Samaritan Torah is older than the Jewish Torah for a reason. The reason is the Samaritan Torah was written down in the original Hebrew, the ancient Hebrew. And you know that the Jewish Bible or the Jewish Tanakh was rewritten in another style. It's not written in the ancient Hebrew, right? It's written in Ashurut. Now, we have a prophecy there, and I claim that the Samaritan Torah is older. That means if we see variants in both Torahs, we have to go to the oldest one to see which one is correct, especially if we have serious variants in both of them. Now, we have Deuteronomy 18:18. It's the same. No big deal. But the issue is about Deuteronomy 34 verse 10. According to the Samaritan Torah, again, which is older than the Jewish Bible, the prophecy there says something else. And here we go. I will post what the Samaritan Torah, in fact, claims about the prophet like Moses. Deuteronomy 34, verse 10. Now, I will post it in the room so everyone can see it. Now, here's the verse from the Samaritan Torah. There arose not again a prophet like Moses in Israel. Verses, there will not arise again a prophet like Moses in Israel. That's the Samaritan version. One says that there arose not again a prophet like Moses. The Samaritan Torah explicitly stating that the prophet like Moses is not coming from Israel. That means simply, with a simple logic, that the prophet like Moses will not come from Israel. He will be from outside Israel. Now, we are relying on history right now, and let's ask this question. Who claimed to be prophet and not from Israel? Well, relying on history, yeah, we have some candidates, right? We have some nominees. One of them is Muhammad, right? He claimed to be from God and he was not from Israel. So yeah, that's the point. According to the Samaritan Torah, the prophet like Moses will not come from Israel. Now, I claim that this prophet is Muhammad. We have to discard Jesus because Jesus is Jewish, right? He's from Israel. So we have to discard this option. Now, let's test, as long as we have corruption here, let's test if the historical method will work with Muhammad or with other. Now, we know that the Samaritans, for example, don't go by the Tanakh, right? They accuse Jews by corrupting the Torah, the word of God, right? The Samaritans, for example, they believe that the Jews corrupted the Bible, right? So they don't trust it. Now, we have to have a test. First of all, we have a corruption. And now I claim that the corruption happened in the Jewish Bible because the Samaritan Torah is older. Now, let's put that aside. Let's see if that will fit the Prophet Muhammad or not. Now, this prophecy, does fit the Prophet Muhammad. He claimed to be from God, and he's not from Israel. And he claimed to have the word from God, according to Deuteronomy 18:18. So, now, let's test this theory on the Old Testament. We have Haggai chapter 2, verse 7, for example. It says, sorry about that, because I have to post the verse and to mention about the translation, right? So I will try to be quick. Sorry about that. Now, Oh my God. Yeah, I got you. Sorry about that. That's from King James 2000 Bible, right? The translation says. That's from Haggai chapter 2 verse 7. And I will shake all nations, and the desire of all nations shall come, and I will fill this house with glory. Right? Now, of course, we have the translation. We know that Haggai isn't written in English. Right? That's a translation. Chapter 2 verse 7. Now, we have this word, the desire. In the Hebrew Bible, the word is hindat, from the root hit mim dalit. Same root as the word Muhammad in Arabic, right? So, yeah, just to let you know. Now, we have another word in Lamentation chapter 1 verse 11. The word mim hit mim dalet appeared, and I will show you the verse in Hebrew, right? Now I will show it in the original language. Sorry about that. Okay, for some reason I can't paste it, but that's not a problem. That's not a problem. You can see, for example, the word between brackets, Mahmadim, right? And it's a synonym of the word Mahmudim, right? According to that, synonyms. The word, it's exactly as the word Muhammad, mim, harit, mim, dalit, and it's a synonym of the word Mahmud. Now, here's the point. According to the Samaritan Torah, well, and as I said, Muhammad was a nominee for that prophecy, and we knew about the corruption. People played with the words, and played with the position of the words. Now, let's see if the Samaritan Torah got it right. We just put the word, the correct word in the correct position in the prophecy, and let's see if it does fit Muhammad or not. We have to replace the word, the desire, with the word Muhammad. And let's see what happened. Oops. And I will shake all nations, and Muhammad of all nations shall come. Is that coincidence? No, it's not. Because it's real. Because Muhammad is right. He got it right. So that's the first prophecy in the ancient time. I'm talking here about the Old Testament. Now, let's test that, especially when the Quran, as an historical document, claims that Jesus used the word Ahmad. And I know you are familiar with the verse I'm talking about. Jesus, or Isa alayhi salam, prophesied about someone whose name is Ahmad. Now, I claim right now, if my prophecy or my theory is right, we have to find the word Ahmad in the New Testament, and especially Jesus using it. Now, I claim that the word Ahmad is literally the word Parakletos. And right now I will start demonstrating that. Now, you know that the closest word in Greek to the word Parakletos is Perikletos. What is Perikletos? Does that exist in Greek? Yes. In fact, it's a title Um, Hephaestus, the god of fire, and the Greek mythology was called by it, Heraclitus. And I will post the spelling right now. Here's the word Heraclitus, and it's very, very similar and close to the word Paracletos. Now, Christians teach that the word Paracletos means the comforter or the helper or the advocate, right? But, well, when we do some etymology and philology, we will find the otherwise. Now, what does that word mean in Greek? In fact, it's a complex word from two words, para and kletos. Now, I will post the source, and please, you have to check it out, Chris. Why can't I post website? Jay, I have to post this website. No, it says, sorry, but the room owner has specified that only admins can post. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. How about now? Did you get it? Please, okay, scroll down to poetic titles of Hephaestus, right? And you will find the word Parakletos and its meaning in Greek and in English. Did you get it, please? Okay, great. Oh, 20 minutes are over or something? 15 minutes. Okay. Okay, maybe I will do that and rebuttal or something. Anyway, thank you very much. I didn't have much time. That's why I said about 20 minutes. But it's okay. No problem. Mike is yours.
So just to start off, how's my sound going today? Thank you very much. Alrighty, so I want to thank Fozy again for engaging into this discussion today. And as well as Nehemiah, I want to thank you for being able to record this debate. And I also want to thank everyone who is listening to this discussion today for giving up your time to listen to this important topic. I also want to say Muslims adhere to the Torah being the books given to Moses and not the whole Old Testament. So any prophecies outside of the Torah is irrelevant. Now I also want to say that I'm going to admit now Muhammad is prophesied in the Bible. We have today, but no, not as Fozy would like to see. I believe Muhammad is prophesied as an antichrist, but never as a true prophet, which is the contention of this debate. This is a very important topic because if Muhammad is not prophesied in the Torah or Injil as a prophet of God, then we can deduct from this that Muhammad is a liar, which I would say we can see a prophecy about this. And that is in 1 John chapter 2, verse 22. Who is the liar? It is whoever denies that Jesus is the Christ. Such a person is the Antichrist, denying the Father and the Son. Also, there are some tests that Moses gave us to see if one is a true prophet of God. Now, we can appeal to this standard in Deuteronomy chapter 18, verses 15 to 22. The Lord your God will raise up for you a prophet like me from among you, from among your countrymen. You shall listen to him. This is according to all that you asked of the Lord your God at Horeb on the day of the assembly, saying, Let me not hear again the voice of the Lord my God. Let me not see this great fire any more, or I will die. The Lord said to me, They have spoken well. I will raise up a prophet from among their countrymen like you, and I will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak them, all that I command him. It shall come about that whoever will not listen to my words which he shall speak in my name, I myself will require it of him. But the prophets who speaks presumptuously in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or which he speaks in the name of other gods, that prophet shall die. You may say in your heart, how will we know the word which the Lord has not spoken? When a prophet speaks in the name of the Lord, if the thing does not come about or come true, that is the thing which the Lord has not spoken. The prophet has spoken it presumptuously. You shall not be afraid of him. So we can determine if Muhammad said things that were not true. By Moses' standard, Muhammad would not be a true prophet. Now, the other problem that Fawzi will have to deal with when quoting the Injil or the Torah is that he has to show that the Injil and Torah he is quoting has the same theology as his Quran. As well, he will have to demonstrate that Allah spoke directly to Muhammad, because this is the standard that we see in Deuteronomy about this prophet. Now, a quote in 34, verses 10 to 12, it says, "Never since has there risen a prophet in Israel like Moses, whom the Lord knew face to face. He was unequaled for all the signs and wonders the Lord sent him to perform in the land of Egypt against the Pharaoh and all of his servants." In Numbers it says, "Listen to my words when there is a prophet among you. I, the Lord, reveal myself to them in visions. I speak to them in dreams, but this is not true of my servant Moses. He is faithful in all my house. With him I speak face to face." So we can see here that Moses was given signs and wonders. Also, God spoke to Moses face to face, which the original wording is mouth to mouth. So let's see if Muhammad was like Moses in that aspect. But we can see from the Islamic literature that Gabriel spoke with Muhammad, not God. And we can see that in Surah 96:1. It says, "Recite in the name of your Lord who created you," which brings up more problems, because if this is the first thing Gabriel said to him in the cave, as we read in the Hadith, how is it in Surah 96? Weird. But anyway, the Quran chapter 28:48 also says, "But when the truth came to them from us, they said, why has he not given like that which was given to Moses?" So we can see here in this verse in the Quran that Muhammad did not do the signs and wonders like Moses, because he said, well, they didn't believe it anyways. As well we know that Allah has never entered his creation. And that's what Muslims actually believe, that Allah cannot enter his creation. So therefore, it would be impossible for Allah to speak face to face with Muhammad. So that is another criteria Muhammad fails upon. And I will even go so far to say that when Fawzi quotes these references from our Bible, he is showing that Muhammad is a false prophet and is not like Moses. And one more thing I want to look into, if Muhammad was like Moses, and this is to deal with who God is to his creation. So first off, Muhammad believed that Allah was a father to no one. And I will even go so far to say that Muhammad taught that the closest relationship we could possibly have with Allah is that of a servant to a master relationship. And we can see this in reference in Surah 1992. "There is no one in the heavens or the earth, but that he comes to the most merciful as a servant." Surah 5:18, "But the Jews and the Christians say, we are children of Allah and his beloved. Say then, Why does he punish you for your sins? Rather, you are human beings from among those who he has created. He forgives whom he wills, and he punishes whom he wills. And to Allah belongs the dominion of the heavens and the earth, and whatever is between them. He is the final destination. So Muhammad is actually refuting the claim of the Jews and the Christians that they are the children of God. But again, this goes against the very theology that Moses taught. And we can look for references in Deuteronomy chapter 14, verse 1. You are the children of the Lord your God. Deuteronomy 32:6. This is the way you repay the Lord, you foolish, unwise people. Is he not your father, your creator, who made you and formed you? Deuteronomy 32:18-20. Off the rock that begot thee, thou art unmindful, and hast forgotten God that formed thee. And when the Lord saw it, he abhorred them because of the provoking of his sons and of his daughters. Sons and of daughters. So we can clearly see that Muhammad refuted the notion that Allah had any spiritual children, and Moses affirms that yes, we are spiritual children of God. So as I said before, if Fawzi wants to appeal to the Torah to prove Muhammad is prophesied in there, he is shooting himself in the foot, because the prophet, like Moses, would not have complete opposite theology of what Moses had. Now, the next part of the debate is the Injil, which is the revelation given to Jesus. This is where the conversation is going to get even more interesting. Muslims have always affirmed that the gospel according to John is not the Injil or any other gospel. I actually remember a debate, and a few of you will in this room. Remember that Shadid Lewis and Bob Siegel, they had a debate, right, where Shadid Lewis had actually said, Muhammad is not in this book, right? He is not in this book, right? And he was holding the Bible up in the air. And then he said, well, this is not the Injil. So I'm wondering if Fawzi actually takes this stance today, or rejects what another Muslim apologist has stated. It even gets worse. If Fawzi does appeal to the New Testament to provide evidence Muhammad is the comforter, for this I will derive my argument from the Quran. Also, if Muslims quote the New Testament, they have to provide evidence the New Testament is the Injil, which will be hard for them concerning Quran Surah 16:36 and Surah 14:4 as well. Now, from those two verses, so we can deduct from the verses in the Quran that Allah sends a messenger to every nation to avoid taghat. And when he sends the messenger speaks in the language of that nation. So if Muslims want to attribute any New Testament verses to the Injil, then Fawzi must provide evidence that Jesus was a Greek prophet sent to the Roman nation. Because the very verses he is appealing to in the New Testament to show Muhammad is prophesied is originally written in Greek. And we have the manuscripts to provide evidence of this. And again, Fawzi has said, by his criteria, the oldest piece of evidence is the most reliable, which is the Greek manuscripts that we have. So, why is this important? Because Muslims will say Jesus was sent only to the lost sheep of Israel. And on top of that, they will say Jesus spoke Aramaic or Hebrew. So if Muslims want to quote this Injil given to Jesus, they must present it from the Hebrew or Aramaic, and this Injil must be contemporary to the time of Jesus, unless Fawzi admits that the New Testament cannot be the Injil by the criteria of his Quran, which is his ultimate standard. And how much time do I have left? Glory to thee. 3 minutes? Excellent. Now he really didn't touch on that prophecy, so I don't really want to touch it because I'll try to leave what he actually said for my rebuttal. I don't want to try to address anything he said in his opening statement in here. But so to conclude my opening, I would say that no, Muhammad is not prophesied in the Torah and the Injil as a prophet of God. The part that I would say we may that we may be able to point to Muhammad is in 1 John chapter 2 verse 22, where I said again, who is the liar? It is whoever denies that Jesus is the Christ. Such a person is the Antichrist, denying the Father and the Son. So, as I said at the start, I believe Muhammad is prophesied in the Bible, but he is prophesied as a liar and an Antichrist, not as a true prophet. And that will end my 15-minute opening statement. So, Fozy, whenever you're ready, sir, you can go ahead and take the mic and start your 10-minute rebuttal to my opening, sir.
Yeah, okay.
What we'll do is we'll give Fozy a couple of minutes here to try to get his sound going good again. For the first 15 minutes, it was cutting in and out, but I understood what he was saying. So Fozy, yeah, no problem. Do you want to try again, sir? Once we hear you on the mic and whatnot, you can start your 10 minutes. That's okay. Off the mic. Yeah, is there any way that you can throw a pause on that, on the recording for us, Nehemiah? Just less to cut out, I guess. Less to edit afterwards. So once he gets volume going again, Nehemiah, just go ahead and start it then. Okay? Off the mic.
Hey, Janice, you're on a Windows platform, correct? Janice, you're on a Windows platform? Why don't you go into right-click on your little speaker icon on the bottom right-hand side? I'll work with you down there. Open it, right-click it, and then go to Recording Devices. Left-click it. Let me know when you're doing that. You right-click on the little icon, and then you left-click to activate it. On the recordings on your default microphone, right-click it and go to Properties. When you get to Properties, left-click Levels, and then slide it all the way up to the right and make sure that it's not muted. Make sure there's not a red line through your microphone icon on there. Did you get that, Mike Free?
Okay, how about now? Can it be heard? Can you hear me? Okay, great. Sorry about that. I didn't know what happened. So, sorry again. So, yeah, Chris, I think I don't have a lot to say about your opinion. In fact, there is a deviation from the topic. I wasn't debating theology. I was debating history, right? And I was clear about that. Obviously, you were using circular reasoning. You are starting from the presupposition that the Bible is true, therefore I have to go by it. No, in fact, historically, I try to show that, well, your Bible got corrupt. There is an issue with your Bible. So we don't have really if we have to rely on your Bible or not. I gave an example from Can I be heard? Oh, okay, because someone mentioned that I don't have voice. So yeah, I was going to show that even the New Testament got corrupt. So taking the position that the New Testament is preserved, that's the issue. I'm claiming that, well, you have a corrupt Bible, and we have to use some historical methods in order to get to what's called truth. I claim that historically Muhammad claimed to be prophet, right? That and that's historically known. Now we have to go to the previous scriptures, but I didn't claim they are preserved fully. No, I just showed that if we reconstruct the verses, we will have a fulfilled prophecy about the Muhammad, as I did with the Samaritan Torah, Haggai chapter 2, verse 7, Deuteronomy 18:18, and Deuteronomy 34, verse 10. Now, the issue is you are starting from a presupposition which says that, well, the New Testament is preserved and it's right. That's the problem, because we don't know, and you couldn't prove that the New Testament didn't get a problem. What I showed that the Bible is corrupt, and I just reconstructed the verses in order to show that, well, there is a problem here. We have to put the words in their order, basing on the Samaritan Torah, basing on linguistics. That's the point. So I showed that according to the Samaritan Torah, the prophet like Moses will not come from Israel, and that does fit the prophet Muhammad again. And when we went to Haggai chapter 2 verse 7 as example, and when we made the words in their proper order, we found that fits the prophet Muhammad. That means the claim that the Bible got corrupt is true, and the claim that the prophet Muhammad is prophet and he was prophesied is true as well. We just have to put the words in the right order, and that's the problem with the Bible, right? So that's my point about the Old Testament. Now, when we go to the New Testament, I don't know. I think we don't have to debate if the New Testament was perfectly preserved or not. For example, it's a fact that the ending of Mark is not or was not in the original Bible, just like John chapter 8 and the story of the adulterer. It's a very famous story which was added later to the Bible. So the fact that the Bible got corrupt is a fact, and that's what you need to defend in order to refute me. That's my point. Because when you say that the actual Bible doesn't talk about Muhammad, I totally agree with you. Yeah, because people corrupted the Bible. But when we put the words in the proper order, we will find the opposite. That's my point. So the Bible got corrupt, and yeah, when we reconstruct the Bible, or at least the verses about the prophecy I'm talking about, we will find that, well, the Prophet Muhammad was prophesied really. And as I said, I have to go to the New Testament in order to show that the word Parakletos means literally the word Ahmed. So according to history, Jesus, or at least historically, and according to Muhammad's claim, Jesus used the word Ahmed. Now, the word Ahmed is an Arabic word, right? And it means simply the one who praises God too much. Or we can say it simply praiseful, right? Now, as I said, the closest word is kletos. And yeah, you to take a look at the Periclita was given to God. I mean, it's very simply very glorious. The word Kletos, as I said, it's a complex word. The word it's from Piri, and Kletos. Piri means very, and Kletos means glorious or famous. Now let's go to the word glorious and let's see its etymology. What's the etymology of the word glory according to linguistic? Now, glory, it's a noun, right? I will post that, and I will show the source. Sorry about that. Now, very quickly, to show that Jesus used the word Ahmed, in fact. Gloire, the splendor of God or Christ, praise offered to God. That's the etymology of that of the word glory, which the word glorious came from, right? So we have very glorious means simply very praiseful, or we can say that the word Perikletos means Ahmed. Right now, I claim that the word Parakletos came from the word Perikletos, and regarding the development of words during history and during time, we can find some little changes in the letters, but the core meaning must be from the original word, which is Perikletos. So simply I can claim and I can go further to show that even the word Parakletos in the Bible, without tonos, without playing with the diacritics, even the word Parakletos does mean the word Perikletos, which means literally the word praiseful, or the one who praises God too much, which does match the word Ahmed in Arabic language. So again, even in the New Testament, we will have the same phenomenon. Someone is prophesied, and the root of the name is from the word praise. Mim, hate mim, dalit in Hebrew, and Perikletos in Attic, and Parakletos in modern Greek. So again, I showed you from the New Testament that Jesus used the word Ahmed, and for some reasons people corrupted these prophecies in order to hide the prophecy about the Prophet Muhammad. So again, historically, the prophecy the prophecies in the great scriptures will favor the claim of the Prophet Muhammad being a prophet. So can I wrap up my demonstration, or how much time I have? How much time I have? Oh, okay, no problem. Okay, thank you. Mic is free.
Thank you very much, Fozy, for your 10-minute rebuttal. And now I will start mine. So Fozy seems to appeal. He doesn't know what he wants to appeal to yet, right? He says that he has to go back to the Samaritan Torah because it's the oldest. So now the criteria that Fozy is using is that the oldest text is the accurate one, okay? But do you apply the same standard to the New Testament? Probably not. Because you would not accept the oldest manuscripts we have as being authentic. So I'm wondering how you would be able to say, well, yeah, it's older, so it's authentic, but no, that's older, but it's not authentic. I would like people to have equal standards. not use double standards whenever they try to argue. Now, we also have to realize that the Samaritans, from the Samaritan Torah that he is quoting from, didn't actually accept any prophet after Moses. So when he's going to the Samaritan Torah to try to prove that the Samaritan Torah was prophesying of a prophet to come, and that this prophet had to be Muhammad, he's kind of shooting himself in the foot, because the Samaritans didn't actually believe that. And when we read things, we have to read things in the context that they were written. We are not allowed to read context into the material. And what I believe today is happening, that Fozy is actually reading into it, and he's bringing his own presuppositions into it and saying, well, because I believe Muhammad is a true prophet, and because I believe he is prophesied in previous scripture. Now, I know I can't defend the Old Testament in Deuteronomy, so I have to go to the Samaritan Torah. And at that point, I don't believe that that's a very scholarly thing to do. Now, you're just trying to look for anything that can try to agree with your point of view so that you can try to present it as absolute truth. Now, another reason why I have a problem with this is Muslims will say that their ultimate standard is the Quran, and that the only way that they can know if there is truth in the Torah and the Injil is if it agrees with the Quran. So I would like to see the verse in the Quran where Moses actually said that Muhammad was going to be the prophet after him. Wouldn't mind to see that one. Also, another few problems that I have with his presentation is that, or even in the rebuttal, is that he keeps going to the New Testament. He keeps trying to use the word parakletos. The parakletos is a Greek word. So he's going to the Greek to try to present his prophet. Now, again, two questions arise from that. If a Muslim is willing to go to the Greek text to try to prove their prophet is prophesied in the scripture, one, they have to provide evidence that what they're quoting is not corrupted. Because they say, and I would quote, who is John? Who is Mark? Right? They believe that they are unanimous gospels. In any other context, if we were debating the authenticity of the New Testament right here today, he would disagree with anything that I quote from John. He would disagree with anything I quote from Luke, Mark, anyone. He would disagree with it. He's like, no, that's corrupted. That's written way too long after Jesus to be credible. But yet he's willing to appeal to those texts today to try to prove that Muhammad is a true prophet. That doesn't make sense. Why do Muslims try to go to a text that they say is corrupted to try to prove that their prophet is a true prophet? Because that's not what they're supposed to do. In the Quran, it actually says that Muhammad was prophesied in the Injil and the Torah. Not the corrupted Injil and not the corrupted Torah. So again, and I also want to point out that Fozy kind of tried to say that I have to prove that the Bible is authentic or he wins the debate. So let's just go over what the actual topic is of the debate. The topic is Muhammad prophesied in the previous scriptures? So, even by the wording of the actual debate, if you take the affirmative side of the debate, what you must do is you must present a positive argument that Muhammad is prophesied in these scriptures. And to do so, you would also have to demonstrate that the scriptures that you're using are authentic and a part of the original message given to Moses and to Jesus. Today, Fawzi has been unable to do that. And then, another thing that Fawzi tries to do is that he goes from running to the Samaritan Torah to running probably to the Masoretic text. Now, I'm not sure if you guys caught that in his opening presentation, but he's saying the Samaritan Torah has to be the original, but yet Haggai, which he was quoting from, isn't a part of the Samaritan Torah. So I'm assuming he went to the Masoretic text for that verse. So again, that just presents more evidence that Fawzi is doing nothing but cherry picking from whatever he wants to try to suit his agenda. Now, a while ago, Fawzi, there was a Muslim apologist by the name of Yusuf Ishmael. He gave a webinar on Jonathan McClatchy's Apologetics Academy webinar, and I recommend anybody to attend that on Saturdays on 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just go to Apologetics Academy on the net, and you will see the upcoming webinars. But Yusuf Ishmael did take that webinar, and he actually said within the webinar in his presentation that anyone that cherry picks is engaging in a failed argumentation. So Fawzi, you, sir, are cherry picking, and you, sir, are engaging in an illogical argumentation. So I know I only have a couple minutes left, and that would conclude my rebuttal. So Fawzi, whenever you do get Mike again, you have a 15-minute cross-examination with me, where you have 1 minute to formulate your question, and I have 2 minutes to answer that question. You will have 15 minutes to control the time. Off the mic. Yeah, no problem, Fawzi. You take your time. When you come back, maybe what we'll do is we'll just do a 10-minute closing, because I agree with Glory to Thee. If we do a cross-examination right now, I don't think it will go very well with the technical difficulties that Fawzi is having. So what we'll do is we'll just let Fawzi do a 10-minute closing, and then I'll do a 10-minute closing, and then anybody could take the mic after that. I think so far the debate has... the evidence has come out anyway. Teach his own, sir. This is being recorded, so I can't really. Alrighty, so go ahead, Fawzi, take the mic, give your 10-minute closing, and I'll come up and give my 10-minute closing. We can try cross-examination at another time. Off the mic. Yeah, I would think so at this point, Nehemiah. I don't think that he's going to be able to get the mic back. We might as well call it now. Yeah, you might as well, Nehemiah. Thank you very much for coming on here.